All right, so now it's time to hit variables. Okay, so variables, I'm sure you have worked with a little bit before, but we're still going to go over just the basics of what they are and how you use them. Okay, so when we talk about a variable, all that a variable is it is a symbol, okay, and a lot of times we use the letters. So a symbol or a letter that is used to represent a number. That's all it is. It's just a letter or a symbol that you use in place of a number. Okay, now sometimes you're not going to know what the number is, and we're going to have to do some detecting to try to figure out what it is. Okay, but sometimes you'll know what the variable stands for. If you know what number a variable stands for, you can just swap out the variable and the number. So you can just exchange them because they're the same thing. Okay, it's kind of like if you go and get a can of Coke out of the fridge and then you pull a different can of Coke out of the fridge and you swap them, they're the same thing. So it doesn't matter which one you take, right? Even though a variable and a number look different, this equal sign tells me that they're the same thing. So this is telling me that an x is the same thing as a 4, which means that these two are totally interchangeable. So when I'm asked to evaluate this, what it's telling me I can do is it's telling me that I can switch out this x for that 4. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I've got the 2, and then I'm going to swap out this x for that 4. Now, the trick is you got to remember it's not going to become a 24. That's a little silly mistake that people make sometimes. Okay, so think about it for a second. What does it mean when you have a 2 and an x right next to each other? What is that? Hopefully you remembered that that means multiplication. So when I replace my x with the 4, I'm going to replace that, but I still need to make sure that I know it's multiplication. So I'm going to put a little dot there just so that I remember that I'm supposed to be multiplying and it's not a 24. Okay, and then I've got this plus 1 here. Following my order of operations, right? Check for grouping symbols, then exponents, then multiplication. So 2 times 4 is 8, and then 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay, it's that simple. Excellent. So now let's look at the next problem. So this one, they're telling me that y is the same thing as -1. So a y and a -1 are interchangeable in this problem. So when I evaluate -3 plus y, that's the same thing as doing -3 plus -1 because y and -1 are interchangeable. I can swap them out. Okay, and then I'm adding -3 and -1. Don't forget your fires and buckets of water. I've got 3 fires and then 1 more fire. So that's going to give me 4 fires altogether. All right, and then last one. This one, they tell me that smiley face is equal to 5. Okay, well, that's weird. We don't usually see smiley faces, but that's just a symbol that we're using to represent a number. So a smiley face and a 5 are interchangeable in this problem. So when it says to do 3 minus smiley face, that's the same as 3 minus 5. Okay, and then we're going to subtract those. And again, thinking about our fires and buckets of water, remember we can think about this like a 3 and a -5. So this is like 3 buckets of water and 5 fires, right? So it's like 3 buckets of water and then 5 fires. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what's going to happen? Well, this bucket of water will put out that fire. This one puts out that fire. That one puts out that fire. My answer is going to be -2. Okay, and that is all that variables do. All that a variable is it's just a letter or a symbol that replaces a number, and they're interchangeable with each other.